from beautiful Father David Bauer Olympic Arena here in Calgary. It is an inter-city matchup as the Calgary Dinos are hoping that home cooking fuels the soul in a way that it normally does during the holiday season, as the Dinos are taking on the Mount Royal Cougars. Welcome inside, everyone. Peter Klein and Brendan Donald with you. Brendan, happy holidays, happy New Year, all of those sorts of things that we've absolutely already said to each other off camera. For the Calgary Dinos, not the happiest of starts to 2025. They're hoping for a bit of a better result today on home ice.
Yeah, again, coming into yesterday, they wanted to start off 2025 year on a winning note. Coming into this year on a 4-game losing streak, didn't have a great game yesterday. Obviously, coming back for the first game on home ice, they want to try to change that against their inner-city rival. And again, this is going to be a really, really interesting game, and look forward to it.
And I would imagine for the Dinos, it was going into the game yesterday, and it certainly is today. The entire game plan is just the number 25 with about 1,000 circles around it. Stop that one there.
Yeah, Aile Joma had an absolutely phenomenal game yesterday. 3 goals, absolutely just tortured this Dinos team. Again, when we were talking with the coaching staff prior to this game, it was, well, what was your message yesterday? And it was, well, whatever we did yesterday, it clearly didn't work, so we have to come back here today. And we talking with Coach Josh Gosling, he said, you know what, we're not exactly throwing out that game plan. We just need to execute that better. Joma is one of the top point getters and top goal scorers, 10 goals on the year. She is an absolute force to be reckoned with. And you know what, if this Dinos team wants to win today, they need to make sure to slow her down. Yeah,
having trouble with Joma is not a unique problem to the Dinos. Everyone seems to be doing it. Just one other game from Canada West yesterday with the Alberta Pandas with a 4-0 win over MacEwan Griffins. MacEwan and Mount Royal getting the Hockey Day in Canada treatment coming up in a couple weeks here, but an interesting result from last night for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very important game. But now taking a look here at what the Dinos can do, taking a look at number 14, April Clarenbach, first-year player for this Calgary Dinos team, and she has been a very, very fun player to watch progress over this year. 3 goals, 3 assists, has started out a little bit lower on the lineup, but each week has gone out there and just shown improvement. And coming into today, she's going to be a focal point for this Dinos squad like she's been coming up throughout this year.
Well, and the message when we talk to the coaching staff is if you play well, you're going to keep playing. And there's an opportunity, first-year player on the first line, get a great chance to show what they can do.
Yeah, and again, Clarenbach, she has just been progressively getting better and better and better. Taking a look here at some of the standings throughout Canada West as we get this one ready. Taking a look, UBC still the top team in the West with Mount Royal coming in just behind. And unfortunately for these Calgary Dinos, sitting in the lonely 4th place as they are looking to try to get back into some form.
Yeah, and I mean, no time like the present, right? You come out of the Christmas break and all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure on, and you see that gap in the standings, 4 points. They do have a game in hand, so an opportunity, but that game in hand tonight is against a very good Mount Royal team.
Yeah, this is basically one of the previews for the Crowchild Classic, just going to be a little bit down the road, coming on January 31st. And it's going to be a really important game to just try to at least get that last game and try to at least split this series, because, again, you're going to be playing 6 games throughout this year.
All right, we are doing acknowledgements and then national anthems. So we will take that and be back with your play-by-play here in a moment.
Now, parents, please rise if you're able to, and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada,
Everyone wants to be home for the holidays. The Dinos are now home from the holidays, as 2025 did not get off to the start they wanted against the Mount Royal Cougars. Tonight they look to start things off on the winning track on home ice, an area, Brendan, where they have had success against Mount Royal before this season.
Yeah, they played a bunch of really good games against them last year, particularly we look back to this time last year. This is when this Dinos team really started to come into their own and really take off and move into that next form. But obviously it is a very, very tough battle here today against one of the better teams in Canada West. Whatever you got to do, the main focus for this Dinos team, we heard it all throughout the coaching staff when we were chatting with them earlier, is play with confidence and make sure you're accountable for the things that you do.
Yeah, a lot of times after a game like that, you hear, oh, we just want to toss that one and move to the next one. That was not the message. It is learn from it, grow from it, and more importantly, be better than it. And the puck is dropped. We are underway. Dinos send this one down the ice. Bounces out in front. Quick chance. And it goes just wide. Rebound bounces into the corner. What a look, though. 11 seconds in for the Dinos. Mount Royal rushing back. Quickly onto that puck now is Mercier, who had that great opportunity. Dropping it off for Clarenbach. Into the corner for Anderson. Circling around, centering feed, deflects in front. Picked up by the Cougars, and back comes Mount Royal. Two excellent looks for this top line, so message received, at least for them early on. Back behind the net it goes. Amelia Awad had the message from the coaching staff yesterday, like, yeah, if you went behind you, wasn't your fault. They work for it in front of the Calgary Dinos bench. McLeod has it for the UFC. She'll send it back into her own end. Onto it is Perlinger. Cross-ice feed, working it up. That pass just a bit off target. Ends up to Solana Cooper. Down the left wing side. Cooper driving in. Gets nudged off of it on good aggressive play by Comta. Comes back to the blue line. Near side, Perlinger fires it into a vacated corner. That one gets stolen away. Cougars will try to clear. They do so a bit too aggressively, and icing is going to be the call. Also should say a special hello to those of you joining us from CBC Sports today, as we are here on Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel.
Really like the way the Dinos have come out and started with this aggressive mentality again. Some of the things that, again, chatting with the coaching staff prior to, they didn't really like the way some of their passes ultimately, fortunately, went to the other team. And now they're just slowly starting to get that little bit of extra aggressive mentality. Pretty much the opening puck draw had an opportunity right away.
And now they get another one off of another face-off win. Cycling it down into the corner. Martins working her way up top, has a defender all over her, tries to cycle it down low. That gets intercepted by Mount Royal, and back they come with it. It's Watney sending that down into the corner. After it is Nafziger. Madeline Nafziger slides it back behind the net. Dinos look to break out with it. 3 wide into the neutral zone, but it gets stolen away. Good back check by the Dinos. Calgary recovers, and they have the puck in their own end. Cycled back to the near side. Onto it is Curley. 3 points against Mount Royal so far this year. That puck comes into the slot. Bit of an issue with it, and Mount Royal is going to keep possession. They battle for it back behind the net. Comes out to James. Centering feed. That one gets deflected. Comes back to the blue line. Held in. Anoki long shot. That one's wide. Rebound. James has it again. Knocked away in the corner. Quickly onto it here is Zuck. As it poked away up to the blue line, and it's out. Down the ice it goes. Icing's been waved off. Both teams change. After it is Hanoki. Passed up the boards. That one gets intercepted. Jolie Nafziger with the interception there. Puck gets played along by the Dinos. They'll push it ahead. Into the attacking zone. Puck stuck on them. And Mount Royal is able to push it out. Jumping onto that one now is Ashley Grice. Trying to push it ahead. Linesperson getting in the way. Quickly onto it. Borbandy in front. Quick chance. Save made. Another opportunity. Bounces into the corner. First real test for Awad. Passes that one with flying colors. But Mount Royal keeping the pressure on. It's Duke. Back up top. Spence. To the blue line. Up with it from Rodis. Back to Spence. Down into the corner. Good puck movement. Centering feed. Knocked away. Held up by Spence one more time at the blue line. Walks that tightrope. Couple Cougars changing. Spence shoots. Stopped. And Awad will hold on.
Mount Royal starting to bring that little bit of that overwhelming pressure. And one of the things that we often see from this team is the second that they can get the puck, they can apply a ton of very high-end pressure against you. And so far, the Dinos haven't allowed any too crazy opportunities, allowing really dangerous shots. So far, keeping those shooting lanes pretty closed up and really helping out Awad, third netminder.
Tie-up draw, jumped on by the Dinos, and out they come with it. Pass here to Anderson, driving wide on the right wing side. Anderson shoots, blocker save, rebound, held on to. Caitlin Ross got crashed into but was able to hold on to that as play is halted about 3 minutes into this contest.
Kate Wagner doing a good job at sending that one into Brooklyn Anderson. She's been one of the brighter spots of this team, coming over from Trinity Western last year. Top point getter for this Calgary Dinos team, looking to try to put the first one back.
Mercier out to take the draw. Tied up in some feet. Mercier's got it again. Playing it down into the corner. Clarenbach gets pinned up against the wall. Anderson in support. Chips this one up along the wall. Perlinger holding that one in, sends it to the goal. That one gets deflected. Rebound jumped on by Mount Royal. They'll spin back with it, but it's intercepted. Here's a chance, Mercier. Into the slot. Kick save made by Ross. If Ross has a slightly smaller pad on, that one's going into the net, but just able to get the last toe on it to keep it out.
Sydney Mercier, one of the team's top players returning to this squad for the Dinos again. She hasn't had one of the better seasons that coaching staff says, and if you were talking to her, she would also say she hasn't had necessarily the best year, but right there had a few chances so far throughout this game, and Dinos again bring up some good pressure, which is what you want to see.
That top line certainly working for Calgary as they try to send it back into the attacking zone. Mount Royal back with it, and now in on the forecheck is going to be McKenna Schaefer. Swing around in the near side, it's Inoki. The Calgary forecheck looking to create a steal. Puck gets bounced to the blue line, held in. Nafziger, long shot deflected, and it goes wide. Rebound into the corner. After it is Schaefer again. Cycles it, bounces out in front, stolen by Mount Royal. They'll try to break out with it. Through the neutral zone, but again, that pass just off the intended target. Actually, that looked like it hit the post, but icing is going to be called with 15:54 to go.
Dinos getting a little bit of a break there as that one just barely goes by, and for them, they get to change, and Mount Royal not allowed to have any new players to come out onto the ice. So as we can see, Mercier, Clarenbach, and Brooklyn Anderson are all making their way out there. Again, all three of these players at any given time throughout this year have been one of the top players for this Dinos team. It's good to see this line is able to go out there and really get some attacking pressure on.
Anderson out to take the draw. Quickly brought out by Hinoki. That was a bit of a dangerous move, but done so very effectively. And now Benko down the left wing side, cuts in, shoots and whistles it past the post. Racing after her own rebound to keep that one in. Stolen away by Mount Royal again. Pushed toward the goal. That one is stopped. Rebound is going to be held on to. Awad stopping the chance from McNitch, who is kept out, had goals in back-to-back games before the break. That was halted with an assist yesterday.
Yeah, Awad has had a few shots put on her. Again, nothing too crazy. And again, this defense for this Dinos squad really wants to give her a lot of help. Again, we look at yesterday's game. Coach Stat basically saying as she's coming off, you did not really deserve to be taken off during this game. We didn't really give you any help. And so far, the Dinos are giving her much more help here today.
Spence looking to change that, plays it down into the corner. After it is Gabby Lindsay. Held up down low there by Zuck. Sophia Zuck up to the near side, now passed it into the neutral zone. Martin's trying to chip it along, but James will steal that one away. Passed across, Mount Royal going to try the right wing side this time as they push this puck forward into the attacking zone. Bouncing back behind the net. Onto it quickly is Caitlin Perlinger, but it's stolen away. Passed out in front. Here's a chance. Quick shot, club save by Awad. Rebound goes behind the goal. Bouncing into the corner, it's Duke. Circles out in front. Quick chance, another one. Whistled just over the goal. Rangefinder a little off for the Cougars, but they're getting the pressure on now. Cycled back behind the goal. Racing off of the bench onto it is Kaya Borbandi. Mount Royal captain cycles it down low. Takes the return feed, tries to cut in front, gets knocked away from it. Bouncing around in the faceoff dot. Grice down in the corner. More strong play from the Dinos, knocking the puck around. It's loose back behind the goal. Quickly onto it there is Wagner. Plays it over on the far side, and the Dinos get it out. So some possession for the Cougars, but not a lot, as you mentioned, put toward the goal. A couple good looks, but they were able to limit that from a Dinos perspective.
Yeah, one of the things that I like what the Dinos are at least doing in their own defensive zone is, yes, they are giving Mount Royal some opportunities with the puck bouncing back onto their stick, but the second that puck gets bounced back onto Mount Royal's stick, the Dinos are quickly going up and trying to cover that off and not allowing any of those extra dangerous shots to come by.
Face-off controlled by the Dinos. After it is Sophia Zuck, has a Cougar on her, passing this one to the blue line, but it's going to be held up by Mount Royal. Onto it now. That is Joma, puts it toward the net. She's onto it again, cycles it back down low. Girard spins away from the check, looks out in front, centering feed gets knocked away. Rebound gets played up, Joma calling for it in the high slot. Instead, it comes back up top to Borbandi. Abby Borbandi with the pass across. Long shot stopped and held on to by Awad. So some more good pressure here, but you could see a bit more of a focus on Joma for Mount Royal, or for UFC, sorry.
One of the things that I like from what I saw from number 19, Caitlin Perlinger, is she was behind the net. She actually blocked one of those shots that could have created a much better opportunity. And unfortunately for the Dinos, they weren't able to get the puck out of the zone, but just that little bit of that blocked shot ultimately allowing the Dinos to really settle things down and not allow too much pressure to go towards them. Again, talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, if you're not going to score goals, you got to be able to block shots, and we're seeing some more block shots here today.
Mount Royal putting the pressure on still. McNitch walking out in front, stolen away, and out with it now comes Mercier. Pass that one up to Clarenbach, that was in the feet, so now Borbandi jumps onto it. Racing into the attacking zone, drops that one back. Puck Joe, or not, was going to say just held in. That would be factually incorrect, or else it wouldn't have been offside, which was the call.
Some of the things, Dinos just haven't quite gotten those passes out of the zone as crisp as they want. When they've been able to control the puck out of the zone, they've been doing a better job. But these last few minutes, they've just been almost, it seems like, rushing their passes just to try to get it out, trying to take some of that pressure away. They just need to settle things down because they played a fairly solid game. If they can just get some of those passes a little bit crisper coming out of the zone, they can do some real damage.
Olivia Butts moves in, quick shot, glove save made there by Awad. Yeah, they're defending well, but you don't want to be defending a lot. And that's what's happening because those passes aren't quite as crisp. You kind of have to finish the job. Like in basketball, you have to finish the possession with the rebound. Here, you have to finish the possession with the zone exit.
Defense wins championships, but unfortunately, defense doesn't also get you as many points as you would like.
Yeah.
Like, I always look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're great defensively and you can score a few points, but unfortunately, that's not the way that you're going to be able to win the championship. You need to get the puck out of the zone.
Dinos will do that here in a bit more of a controlled manner as they'll send that puck in cross ice. Quickly on to that one there is Ray. Trying to kick it back up top, tied up. Stolen away by Mount Royal, and they'll play it out. Perlinger, with great force, plays it back in. Hits off of a skate and exits the zone one more time, played back down low by the Dinos. Looking to get a bit more of that zone time on. Shot 6-2 in favor of Mount Royal. Again, one of the best teams in the nation. Going into this one today, icing's been waved off. Racing back after, now Kate Wagner. Hard around the boards. Kept up there by James. Tied up quickly onto it now is Nafziger. Playing it to the blue line, held in. Long shot from Hinoki. That hit the body in front, didn't get through. Rebound, Borbandi was looking for a tip, couldn't find it, and sends that one out of the zone.
Again, the Dinos really didn't spend too much time in opponent's zone, but this could be an excellent opportunity moving this one around.
Schaefer now racing in. Driving in, backhand pass in front, deflected just wide. Chance there for Josie McLeod. Looking for her third goal of the year. Now it's Borbandi back the other way, passing it up the middle. Onto it is Duke, and play is whistled down offside. One of the things we talked about with the coaching staff, a few tap-in opportunities that just missed. I don't know if that would be a tap-in necessarily, but a great opportunity that just goes wide.
Yeah, again, sometimes you just get a little bit unlucky with the puck bounce, but that was an excellent opportunity for the Dinos. Again, sometimes what you need to do to build a little bit of confidence is just to have some of those small misses, because you go, if we just get that lucky bounce a little bit later, it could be a golden opportunity for us.
Speaking of golden opportunities, Awad just stopped one as Athena Houck coming in with the opportunity there. A couple three-point games for her with 5 goals this season.
Yeah, definitely not a player that you want to allow too much open space to. She can find the back of the net, and that was one of those situations where you would like maybe your defense just to collapse a little bit more and slow up some of those lanes. But then again, it was a far distant shot, so you're not going to be too terribly worried about it.
Spence holds it into the blue line. Puck bounces toward the goal. Eventually jumped on by the Dinos, and it's Brooklyn Fry. Swinging around over to the far side. Onto it is Cooper. Pinned up against the wall. They're digging for it now. It bounces free, and it's going to be the Dinos skating out with it. As they build up a bit of speed now. Cooper passing it across to McLeod. Puck gets slid away from her by Spence, and jumping onto it now is Abby Borbandi. Stolen away by the Dinos. Back behind the net, now working their way out in front. Passed over to the far side. Long shot, that one's got her way. Rebound behind the goal. Borbandi digging for it, as is Anderson. So again, some top-line pressure from the Dinos. Mercier in on the forecheck, but the puck gets cleared out. Now it's down the left wing side. Out with it is Hout. Banks that one in. Joma going in after it on the forecheck, but onto it first is Lissus. Leaves it off for Nafziger. Up the middle. Stolen away by Benko. Stolen right back by Mercier. Heading off to Italy for the World University Games. Puck gets stolen away and back out with it. Down the middle they go. Mount Royal racing in. Long shot deflected up into the netting and out of play as McNitch seems to have a puck magnet on the stick so far. Puck's fighting her quite a bit this game.
Kate Wagner doing a good job of getting her stick in the way of that shot, really just slowing everything down, not allowing that one to get by. Dinos these last few minutes have been doing a little bit of a better job at getting this puck out of the zone and creating a few more opportunities. Again, look at the shot total, 7-3. Dinos, I would say, with those 3 shots, maybe a little bit better opportunities, but so far you just need to be a little bit more consistent with it.
Curley look to regroup in her own end, try to bring this one out. Has a couple of Mount Royal players on him, and one of them gets the steal. Watney cycles it back around to the near side. Hanson Young, 2 points in the 6-2 win for Mount Royal yesterday. Pass across, long shot, that one's blocked. Goes into the corner. Cycling back up top, now it's Benko with it again. Pass over to Hanson Young. Banks this one down to Watney, nice use of the angle there. Now plays it back up top, Hanson Young, long shot, that one's blocked. And now Curley looking for a break. She has it on the right wing side, pushing it forward, tired at the end of the shift. Curley passing it across, that one gets intercepted. Some defense turning into offense potentially for the Dinos, and at least some offensive zone time as they look to battle with it. UFC coming away with it. Cycling back up top. That's Nafziger passing it across. Long shot on goal, deflected, and it gets cleared out of the zone. Clark had to wait for that one. She was coming on the ice. Jess Martins was slow to get up after a battle in the corner, and she was just coming off. Clark had to wait, so a heads-up play, and she's rewarded as she takes the return feed up the middle. Has to battle for it, though. Bouncing puck. Still bouncing, still loose. Eventually, the Cougars, now they have it. And the puck gets played in deep. On to it there, Emma Tate. Scored all the way back in October against UBC. As that puck gets held in at the blue line. No, it didn't. I need to stop assuming. And play whistle down with 9:24 to go.
Yeah, Rebecca Clark having to hesitate just a little bit as she entered the ice, as Jess Martins was one of the other players that was going on that breakaway opportunity. Is just a little bit slow to get up with that battle. So Dinos finding a few opportunities again, just these small little things right now that if they can just clean up some of these things, they can have some real extra opportunities and potentially find the first goal of the game.
Grice pushes that one forward for Mount Royal. Back to Borbandi, plays it down into the corner. To Borbandi. Passed up top. Hanoki waits, now plays that down into the corner. After it is Kaya Borbandi. She goes hard into the boards. Hanoki pinches down, holds that one in. Kaya with it one more time, slides away from her. Onto it is Nafziger. Off the boards, just held in. Excellent play there by Grice to slow that one up. Ends up being a turnover anyway, but that's a real good play to slow up a breakup by the Dinos. Now it's McLeod, down the left wing side. Racing in with this one now is Lissus. Puts it toward the goal, it slides wide. Back behind it now. I believe that's Benko gets tied up. Calgary with it. Pass just a little bit off target. Now out with it here on the near side is Hauk. Mercier trying to slow her up. Perlinger with it now. Passed across. Mercier looking for that return feed up the middle. Cougar got a stick on it. Now it's over to Clarenbach. The puck just will not settle down for the Dinos. Clarenbach has it. Plays it back behind the goal. Bounces out toward the front of the net. Backhand try is poked away. Rebound goes into the corner. Swung back behind the net from Rodis. Here on the near side. Banks that one up off the wall. Hauk has it slide behind her. She'll get it again, playing it over to Spence. Good forecheck there from Clarenbach at the end of a shift, but battling, and now it's Anderson. Slides away from a check. Leaves that one behind the goal. It's Zuck. Circling on the backhand. Leaves it off at the blue line, played toward the net. Another chance, deflected. It's chipped toward the side of the goal. Now Mount Royal plays it up off the boards, and it's out. Couple more looks there for U of C as Perlinger overskates that one. Has it now. Back to Zuck. Plays it over on the far side, sending that one back in is Curley. Racing after it now. Martins, who is very much okay after coming up slow a little bit ago. Shot out of a cannon, that one. Now it's over on the far side. Martins has it again. Another corner battle, this one over on the far side. Engaged with McNitch as they continue to battle. Ticking down towards 7 minutes to go in the first period. Still no score. On to it eventually was Watney. And Jersey Watney passes it up the middle. Pass gets chipped along. Now Benko racing after it. Turning Brooklyn Fry around. They have to battle for it back behind the net. They go in there pretty hard. Eventually it's going to be the Cougars coming away with it. Played back up top to the blue line. Long shot. That one slides wide. Rebound to the near side. Curley trying to get it out. Couldn't quite get there as Abby Borbandi held that one in. Puck gets kicked along. Calgary has it up the middle. That one goes. Collision in the neutral zone. Borbandi Wasn't expecting that one as the puck gets sent down now by the Dinos. Jordan Hinoki in her second year out of the Okanagan Hockey Academy. Trying to get this one out of the defensive zone. A couple players overskated. Eventually it does come to neutral ice. Jumped on down by Mount Royal. Racing out with it. Driving wide, but a good defensive play there from Knapziger. Cut that one off on a good look from Gabby Lindsay. Now it's McLeod the other way. She's 1-on-3, but she's driving in. Tries to drag around, but a nice defensive play. Stopped that by Spence. Feels like she's been everywhere this period. Pass up the middle. Now it's Kaya Borbani. That one's cut off. But Mount Royal jumps right back on it from Rodis. Up the middle. Puck stuck on her, but it goes to Borbani. Shot stopped and held on to by Awad with 5:51 to go.
It feels like the Dinos, whenever the puck is on their stick, it feels like they're playing with a bouncy ball. It just can't really settle down. At least with Mount Royal, the second that it goes on their stick, it feels pretty much polar opposite of where it's settled. They can control it a little bit better. And just some of these weird, funky bounces for this Dinos team. And ultimately, right now, since we have a pretty even game, I'm not going to, declare one team as controlling the game due to a bouncing puck, but it almost kind of seems like some occasions throughout this period, it's kind of been those sort of situations.
Mount Royal sliding that one through the crease. That one goes wide, and now jumping onto it is Anderson with speed down the right wing side. Anderson leaves it off. Clarenbach puts it toward the goal. Kick save made by Ross. Plays it back behind the net. Chipped over on the near side, and Mount Royal breaks out with it one more time. Up the middle they come. It's Houck. Moving in, but a good defensive play stops that. Gerard sends it in. Perlinger holding it up. Now she'll race out with it. Sends that one hard in as the top line for the Dinos makes their change. Ross comes out to play it. Bit more of an adventure than she was anticipating, but they still are able to get it at least the blue line. Held up by the Dinos. Trying to put it toward the goal. Kaya Borbandi with the steal. Tries to kick that one along. It gets intercepted. Jumped onto now by Clark. Rebecca Clark has it poked away. A lot of active sticks out there, I believe would be the term. Tate plays it across. Onto it now, Brooklyn Fry. With Borbandi watching her, she'll send this one hard around the boards. That one skips over the stick of Ross, comes to the near side. Onto it is Ray. Played down toward the corner, and they will dig for it. Clark, good battle down there, but it's the Cougars coming away with it. They'll deflect it out. And now, racing after it, Julia Duke with some speed. Brooklyn Fry gets there first. Played along the far side wall. Grice almost onto it, poked away from her by Clark. And it'll be Hinoki playing that one down around the boards. Here to the near side, Curley helps it along, but Borbandi holds and shoots. Gloved onto by Awad. Abby Borbandi looking for her second goal of the year, but that one is stopped with 4:22 left.
If we travel back to yesterday's contest, both teams scoreless after the first period. Again, the Dinos had 5 penalties in that first period. Again, it's been a fairly clean game, knock on wood. Hopefully that trend continues here. But again, Dinos kind of in a similar spot that they found themselves yesterday, but then again, they've been able to play 5-on-5, so I think they would be much more happier with this first period as opposed to yesterday's.
As that puck is chipped along in the corner by Watney, circling back up top. Watney splits the D, sends it down into the corner, trying to take the return feed. She does have it now. Cuts toward the net. Watched by a couple of Dinos. One of them trips her. Hey, you ever heard of the broadcaster jinx?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I had to talk about the penalty situation.
Yeah.
And there it goes as we see the Dinos making their first power play or penalty kill situation of today's game. Taking a look at their penalty kill so far on the year, sitting at 95.7%. So one of the top penalty kill units in the league. And then taking a look at Mount Royal, 83.3%. I was looking at Mount Royal, so got my numbers mixed up there. And then taking a look at the power play for Mount Royal at 19.64%. Dinos yesterday 2 for 7 on the penalty kill. Fortunately, they would like to have that number just be a little bit more, but ultimately having a few 5-on-3s, they felt like they did a pretty bang-up job.
Mount Royal has control of it down in the corner. Gerard plays it up top. Hinoki walks that tightrope, passes it over to Spence. Cycling that one off. It's Houck walking in front. She's got a great shot. Drags, shoots, hit a body in front. It's loose, still loose, and the Dinos jump onto it, and they'll skate it out. It's Sydney Mercier sending this one down the ice.
It's always interesting to see the player situation. Do they try to skate that out and go on the attack, or do they just send that one out? And Mercier electing to get some fresh bodies out there on the ice, including herself. And so Dinos with control of the puck, and this is what you want to do on the penalty kill.
Well, Mercier is such an attack-minded player anyway. That had to be a little bit different part of the brain. And, well, hey, look at that. It's a successful penalty kill. for the Dinos, as there's a roughing call coming up here against Mount Royal. So we are going to have a minute 16, 4-on-4, and the Dinos, I guess, successful penalty kill there. One setup, but that was about it.
Well, of course, the second that I talk about penalties, we have a pretty clear game with not even a minute to go. Already 2 penalties again. Talk about the broadcaster cursor right there, but we're going to have about 44 seconds of power play time, but 4-on-4, a lot of open ice. Dinos get this one in opponent's territory.
Anderson out to take the draw. It's a tie-up one. Clarenbach out there with her for some 4-on-4. Spinning away with it here is Livia Butts. Plays it up the middle, and now they got some room to work from Rodis. Works her way in. Puck gets poked away. It's bouncing around. They ended up dragging it all the way down toward the goal before it eventually gets played over to the far side wall. Puck gets out of the zone, and onto it now is Spence. Under 3 to play. As you mentioned, at about this point, Dinos were 5 penalties and 21 shots against deep, so they will take 1 penalty and 9-3. And what has been a much more even contest so far as Comte comes in on the left wing side. Centering feed. James backhand pass in front. That one slides away, and now there's some space. Dinos looking for the counterattack. Stretch feed. Perlinger is out with it. She eventually comes to it as a couple Cougars collided, but couldn't quite get a stick on that one. Back the other way comes Mount Royal. 3 wide, they cross. Pass to the trailer. Hanson Young moves in, shoots, and just missed. Jory Hanson Young feeling it after a 2-point game yesterday. She's got it again. Plays it down in the corner. It's Watney. Circling up top. Watney waits. Gets away from the check of Mercier. 5 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Long shot. Hit a body in front. Actually hit a face mask in front. That got caught up in the cage of Perlinger, who was able to spin away from it. Awkward way to start a power play, but that is how the power play is going to start now for the Dinos. They set it up back in their own end. 35 seconds to go. Near side, Mercier. Passed up the middle. Jumping on to this one now is Clarenbach. Leaves it off for Mercier. Back to Clarenbach. She gets pinned up against the wall. Bounces free, played back behind the net. Onto it is Hanoki. And she will send this one down the ice. Played in the neutral zone well by Emma Tate. Her 4th year. That one's up the middle. It's stolen away by Borbandi and jumped on one more time. Now by Fry. Moves in. Shot deflected wide. Fry has it again behind the goal. Cycling back into the corner it goes. Onto it is Nafziger as that penalty is done. So both teams 0 for 1 on the power play with 1:05 to go now. They dig for it back behind the net. Onto it Calgary. Centering feed knocked away. Joma looking up ice. That feed goes through some skates somehow and gets sent down the ice. I don't think she could play that through there again if she tried. Cougars send it along over on the far side. Joma with it one more time. This one with a bit more force out of the zone. And it's the Dinos with it. 40 seconds to go in the period. Chipped up the middle. Nafziger playing it along. Fry with the long shot, gloved and held on to by Caitlin Ross with 35.2 left.
Dinos didn't really get too much on that very short power play opportunity, but granted, you have to be really happy what you did on that penalty kill. Granted, it was only about 44 seconds into that, so didn't really have to do too much. Pretty much very even first period. I know if you just look at the shots on goal, it might say a little bit different, but there's been a lot of back and forth throughout this game, and so far it has been a much better game for the Dinos as opposed to yesterday.
Stretch feed gets intercepted. Dinos jump onto it, but it is stolen right back by Mount Royal. 25 seconds to go. Spence plays this one hard up off the wall. Watney plays it back into her own end. Cougars trying to find a point of entry. Dinos not giving to them, and it forces an icing with 13 seconds to go.
Dinos would love to at least try to get a late goal here just to build them some confidence going into the dressing room. And you don't necessarily need to score here, but if you can get a good-looking scoring opportunity, that does almost the same effect as scoring a goal. Now, a goal would be much better, right, but you can definitely get more confidence if you can get something close to the net.
They sent the top line out to do it. Mount Royal was aware of that. They get the face-off, and they'll push ahead. Benko sends this one down the ice. 5 seconds to go. Calgary trying to get it out of danger, and they will, and that is how 20 minutes wraps up. So Calgary was looking for a response from what we saw a night ago for against Mount Royal, and I would say mission completed so far. I mean, not fully, it's still 40 minutes left, but so far so good for the Dinos.
Yeah, this is the exact type of period that you would want to come out with. Again, you would love to have a few more goals on the board, but to go up against a team that is considered one of the very best in Canada West and to play a very competitive first period again. Yesterday's first period, in the first 20 minutes, you had 5 penalty kills that you had to ultimately stop, a couple of 5-on-3s. And you know what? It was completely lopsided on the shot department. This game's a lot closer. It's a lot more competitive. You're starting to build some more confidence. You're starting to get a little bit more in the flow of the game. This is kind of the period that if you're the Dinos, you got to be happy with. And if you're Mount Royal, you're probably a little bit more frustrated because you haven't played as well as you possibly could have.
Right, and 9 shots, but like you said, it doesn't really feel like there's that 9-4 differential between these two teams right now. It's been a fun one so far. I would imagine that the next 40 minutes is going to maintain that. So we will take a break now. We have some intermission programming, and we'll be back with the second period in a bit. No score between the Dinos and the Cougars here on CBC Sports, as well as Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big step.
I had an awesome time as a Dino. With all the players that I played with, many I still keep in touch with. It's a great thing to be a student athlete, but to be a Dino, there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of awesome athletes in many sports that have come through the University of Calgary. Yeah, so you know, I had played for a long time with the national team and over in Europe, club teams, and you know, when it was time to figure out what to do next season, I wasn't really interested in leaving Calgary. My son was just finishing junior high, and you know, it's been a great place to train. So when I knew that Danielle Goyette was coaching the Dinos, there might be an opportunity. You know, we got talking one day, and she said, well, you know, what about playing for the Dinos?
When she came back from the Olympics, we had multiple discussion about her joining the Dinos, but it was about her going back to school to full-time, because you have to be a full-time student to play on the team, and how many classes she could take, and because we can't forget she was still playing for the national team at that time, training with them, going on the road with them as well. Like this, it was not something that was an easy decision for her, but when you think about it, it's not just a decision of her playing hockey, is can she do all that stuff together, you know, national team, university, and go to school and take care of her son at the same time. This is a big decision she had to make, but I'm glad she made it.
Being a student athlete is the greatest job in the world. I tell players all the time, for me, I thought about hockey all the time, and when I was able to take courses and go to school, my mind kind of rested, and I didn't have to think about hockey 24 hours a day. But also I love the lifestyle. I love getting up in the morning, going to practice, training, and then going into class, doing it every day. It's basically the closest thing you get to being a pro player. So I always tell athletes it's the greatest job out there, and I'll cherish those experiences forever. Well, I think coming in, I was mid-30s, I think, when I was playing with the Dinos. So obviously my role was as a veteran leader. I was the only player on the team that played for the national team or at the Olympics. So from that regard, from the hockey perspective, I was counted on to be a leader and a key player, but also going back to school again, I was learning from my teammates. You know, they were teaching me how to study again, and as much as I was helping them on the ice, they were helping me off the ice. So I think just also instilling a belief in the team that, like, hey, we can do this, we can win a CIS national championship, or a U sport now, but and just raising the expectation of what we were capable of. Just you know, the journey to winning a CIS U Sport national championship, it's something that I put right up there with World Championships and Olympic Games, because you know, you come in the environment where people don't think you can maybe do it, and then we took a team of ragtag players and brought them along with great coaching and leadership from a solid group of girls on that team at the time, and it was a lot of fun.
You know, when you win a championship, it's something that it's going to be with you for the rest of your life, and it's something you have between players that will never be taken away from you. I think you have to win at one point to understand what it means to be a champion. Every time we play against teams, they want to beat us so badly just to prove that they can it can beat Haley Wickenheiser on the ice, and it just the intensity of the game were higher. And what I saw is it was not just about Haley, it was about the team. Like our team really surround together, and they knew that at one point if we have 2 or 3 players on Haley, another 2 players would be free. Like this, we really take advantage of that, but the intensity that she brought to the team, like the level hockey, and even in the league, I think it increased because of the fact that Haley was there. We had more publicity too in the league, and when you have the top players on your team, everybody will wish that you're gonna lose, just because they like to cheer for the underdog. But I feel like it brought the team closer together because they get to know they get to know that she has a big heart. She's going to do anything for you. And because of the off-ice care that she has for the players, I think they care way more for her on the ice.
The players that I played with, there's a good group of those players could now call themselves the fossils. The old girls now, the Dinos that I played with, honestly, I just love those teams that I played on, all the players. The faculty at the U of C, the faculty of kinesiology at that time, Penny Werthner was the dean there and helped me tremendously both on and off the ice. And then of course Danielle Goyette and the coaching staff that I had in those years. It was just such a great environment. We were treated really well, and it was some of the best years of my career.
People think about the impact she had on the ice, but I think the impact she had off the ice was way bigger. It brought it brought the players closer together because they learned that team sport get the best out of you, even at school. They brought that to the off ice. And Haley being a perfect student at 4.0, they said, like, if she can do it, I can do it. I think we came, like, for the 3 seasons she was with us, like our GPA at the university was really, really high for a team sport.
Well, I'll always be from first Saskatchewan and then spent a lot of my time in Calgary many years, but my family is all in Calgary. My core memories as an athlete, all the training through the years is in Calgary. The 1988 Winter Olympics, where I first was inspired in Calgary. Calgary is always will be always with me, and maybe someday I'll be able to make my way out west again. But it really kind of gave me the foundation to go off, and when I finished medicine, to practice medicine here in Toronto and work for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So everything I have in my life I owe to, in some way, to the impact of the University of Calgary, the Oval, and the Dinos.
Drink BioSteel, the right fuel.
The Dinos were the most dominant force in university swimming between 1980 and 91, capturing a remarkable 11 straight conference titles. The team was also a powerhouse on the national stage, capturing 9 national titles over that stretch. The team featured 7 Olympians, including Rob Chernoff, Tom Ponting, Mike Meldrum, Gary and Stephen Vandermeulen, John Cleveland, and Mark Tewksbury. Getting his start at the University of Calgary, Tewksbury would go on to become one of the most recognizable Canadian athletes in history. As a Dino, he captured 10 national gold medals and was twice named the Dinos Male Athlete of the Year in 1988 and 1990. He would go on to become a Canadian Olympic star, capturing a gold medal in the 100-meter backstroke at the 1992 Barcelona Olympic Games. He would also be a key part of the Canadian bronze medal winning 4x100-meter medley relay team at the 92 Olympics, alongside 2 Dinos teammates in John Cleveland and Tom Ponting. 2 members of the Dinos dynasty have already been enshrined in the Canada West Hall of Fame. Tewksbury was inducted in 2019 and would later be joined by the team's head coach Derek Snelling in 2022.
My name is Connor Haas. I'm currently a 4th-year exercise and health physiology student, and under the guidance of Dr. Mark Poulin, I served as the project manager for the Fisu Healthy Campus project. The FISU Healthy Campus accreditation process evaluates 100 criteria housed under 7 realms of health promotion. So these are 7 areas in which the university can direct efforts to improve the well-being and mental health of students on campus.
The students over the course of one summer tried to seek out as many different areas as possible where the university met the different criteria. So the process of certification is quite an extensive process, and the universities are expected to fulfill as many as those 100 different criteria.
In this process, we engaged with several faculties and networks across campus.
We received a lot of support from faculty members and staff from the Cummings School of Medicine and from the Faculty of Kinesiology.
Without the instrumental support of teams like Active Living and Student Wellness Services and Dinos Athletics, we wouldn't have been able to accomplish what we had accomplished.
At the end of the summer, they were able to submit to FISU 94 out of 100 criteria. FISU evaluated them and then validated those criteria. And shortly after, or more recently, we were awarded the first platinum level certification in the Americas. I'm particularly proud of the fact that we've created something really positive for the University of Calgary that aligns really with healthy lifestyles, behaviors, and also provides a healthy campus.
By demonstrating that our program is in line with the international standard here, we show that what we're doing is in line with the dynamic needs of the student body. We're able to contribute to a reference source for other universities across Canada and across the globe to look to us as a role model for change going into the future.
Gayleen Berry, nee Donald, thrived as a unique two-sport student-athlete, starring in both field hockey and volleyball for the University of Calgary. From 1968 to 72, she established herself as one of the most decorated athletes in school history, being named University of Calgary Female Athlete of the Year in both 1970 and 1972. Berry has the unique distinction of playing and starting on 3 conference championship teams in 2 different sports over a span of 3 years. The calendar year of 1970 was truly one to remember for Berry and her teammates. In the spring, she was captain of the Western Intercollegiate Athletic Association championship-winning volleyball team. The team went on to make history by becoming the first Calgary team to win a national championship, while also representing Canada at the World University Games in Torino, Italy. Berry would add a second conference championship in the same calendar year by leading Calgary's field hockey team to a conference title of their own. In her final year as a varsity athlete during the 1971-72 term, Berry once again thrived playing both sports. In field hockey, she was a member of the Alberta provincial team and earned all-star honors at the Field Hockey National Championships. On the volleyball court, she helped the Dinos capture another conference championship. Berry would go on to play for the National Women's Field Hockey Team from 1972 through 1977, including competing for Canada at the 1975 World Championships. She was inducted into the Dinos Hall of Fame in 2004.
Do you want free Dinos tickets? Are you a UCalgary student? Then head on over and secure your seats online at godinos.com/tickets. Find the Dinos home event you wish to attend on ShowPass. Add a UCalgary student ticket to your cart. During checkout, click Enter Promo, Discount, or Credit Code and type in your UCID. Then claim your ticket for $0. So head to godinos.com/tickets and score big with free Dinos tickets.
Welcome back to Father David Bauer Arena as we get ready for the start of period number 2 between the Calgary Dinos and the Mount Royal Cougars, still awaiting the game's first goal. Peter Klein, Brendan Donald back with you. And Brendan, again, the shot clock looks a little bit more lopsided than maybe the ice surface told in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? Even looking at this shot, 9-4 for Mount Royal over the Calgary Dinos, a lot of those shots were, you're not going to say cupcake shots, but they weren't the most aggressive shots that you would ever see. They're shots that every goaltender, when they face those types of shots, you expect them to make with ease, and Amelia Awad did that. And with the Dinos, they didn't really get any of those insane shots either, but it felt like some of their moments were a little bit better when they were at least in the zone attacking. And with Mount Royal, they were able to control a little bit more zone time in that period, but ultimately they didn't do anything that really changed the outcome of this period. Again, very, very even. If you're the Dinos, this is exactly the type of period that you wanted to have after yesterday. And if you're Mount Royal, you want to come back out into this second period and try to reestablish that lead that you had yesterday. Now, yesterday in the second period, it only took about 23 seconds for Mount Royal to ultimately get the go-ahead goal and really control that game. And if you're the Dinos, you really have to watch out. But so far, Peter, very even game, a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, it's been a blast so far. Just one other game going on in Canada West right now. And by going on, I mean gone on. As the University of Alberta with a 6-1 win over McEwen. So a good weekend for the Pandas as they pick up another relatively convincing victory for the University of Alberta here.
Yeah, taking a look at the total goal difference in those two games, Alberta 10-1 if you just count all of those. So phenomenal weekend for them so far. And again, if you're the Dinos, already out there on the ice just waiting for Mount Royal to get everyone out there as we get ready to go here. But again, very, very even matchup. Again, we often see these Saturday matchups a lot more closer, a lot lower scoring in this sense. And again, these two Calgary teams, the Crow Child Classic, approaching later this month. I know they're probably not thinking about that game, but going to the Dome and playing in front of all those fans always gets people going. But they got to finish this one here first.
Yeah, can't afford to look ahead at this point if you're the Calgary Dinos. With where they are at in the standings right now, every game has great importance as the second period is yours now. A special hello to those of you joining us on CBC Sports and to those on Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. As the puck gets sent back in, Tate onto it, sends the pass across. Dinos will get it out. Anderson was looking to jump on that one, but bounced away from her, which was a common theme in period number 1. Puck continues to hop here in the second. Joma tried to play that one in. And already the first 23 seconds have gone better than they did in the last game for the Dinos. So progress. As from Rodis, passes that one up the middle. McNitch loads a shot. That one's guided wide. Worried about a broadcaster jinx on that too. As the puck gets played to the blue line. Held up there by Benko. Circling back in. Makes a nice move over on the left wing side. Played down into the corner. Tate goes after it. Bouncing puck, centering shot. That one slides past everything and goes down the ice. Icing waved off as it was a Cougar player who shot it. Ended up missing the goal, but a great opportunity there for Mount Royal. Now it's Compton. Up to McNitch. He was everywhere in period number 1. Leaves it off for Watney. Drives in. Long shot. Whistles that one just over the goal. Bounces out to the far side, and it's Josie McLeod. Trying to play that one along. He gets lost in some feet. No one knows where it is. Gets hung up there along the boards and gets chipped down into the corner. Quickly after it, there is McKenna Schaefer. Back up to the near side. Spinning back with it now. That's Wagner playing it back behind the net. Forecheck here from the Cougars, and they're going to jump on it. Centering pass gets knocked away, and a rush chance now for the Dinos. Breakaway opportunity. Rushing down the right wing side. It's Schaefer moving in. Cuts to the front of the goal. Big collision knocks the puck away. It goes back behind the goal. Schaefer off for a change. Cougars now looking to counterattack. It's Janes working her way up the middle. Looking for a pass. Instead, Butts has it poked away from her. Now it gets to Janes in the corner. Played to the blue line. Spence trying to race over, couldn't quite get there. So both times the puck's been cleared this period, it's been the Cougars doing it. Now it's Spence with Martins in on the forecheck. She can fly. The puck gets sent around to the far side. Kaya Borbandi gets it to the blue line and out. Jumping onto that one now is Julia Duke. Down the left wing side. Duke moving in. Circling on the backhand. She still has it. Dropped it off now. Borbandi, centering pass, one-timer shot stop, rebound, floats toward the goal. It's still loose, bounces toward the blue line, and jumped on by the Dinos. Spinning back with it is Martins. Plays it hard off the boards, back behind the net. Dinos trying to get out. Cougars would rather they don't. Gets played up to the blue line. Borbandi throws it toward the goal. That one gets knocked away. It's loose again. Borbandi one more time. Shoots. Blocked. Nice play in front by the Dinos. Comes back towards Fumrada to the blue line. They jump onto it. Girard still with it. Centering feed, looking for Joma. That's knocked away. Hauk has it. Just as dangerous. Deflected and stopped. Another chance. That one stopped as well. And a pile up into the Calgary net, or just one. But either way, good pressure there from Mount Royal starting this period off.
Yeah, this is exactly the way that Mount Royal wanted to start this period. Bring in a handful of pressure, making it really tricky for the Dinos to get this puck out of the zone. Now, one of the things that we saw this Dinos team do an excellent job in the first was really close up those shooting lanes. These last few moments, Mount Royal, they've definitely found a few more of those shooting lanes and are getting closer and closer and closer. If you're the Dinos, you want to try to control this puck and at least just try to find a way to get it out a little bit more controllable.
Comta passes it across. Ensign Young, long shot. That one deflects behind the goal. Now it's Joma coming off with a hat trick yesterday against this Dinos team. Cycles it down in the corner. Return feed poked away. As Fry is watching her. Some support. You can see that there is definitely a spotlight on 25, especially when she has the puck, especially when it's by the net. Neither of those things now as Anderson races out with it. Puck gets held up by a linesman, and Hauk plays it up along the wall. Girard has Joma going to the front of the goal. Centering feed deflected away. Girard with it again. Drops it back. Hinoki. A lane opens up. She shoots and a blocker save by Awad. She was looking to pass that, and the C's open, and she had a great opportunity. Now to the blue line. And this one gets poked out. Hinoki back onto it. Looking for her first goal of the year. Had a great opportunity for it a few moments ago. Now onto it is Watney. Passed in front, deflected, and covered up there by Awad.
Brooklyn Fry doing a nice job of just getting that stick out the last possible second and really try to slow that puck moving forward. Awad able to cover that one up nicely. Again, Mount Royal really starting to bring that almost suffocating pressure into this second period to open this one up, not really allowing the Dinos team to get any sort of comfortable in it. And you just take a look at the difference in each of the sides of the ice. One side looks pristine while the other looks quite cut up here at the moment. Right now, the Dinos, the only attack they had was pretty much that breakaway opportunity.
Hadn't noticed that. It is quite the difference as the puck comes back to Spence. Long shot. That one is stopped by Awad, who will hold on there. But yeah, there's great pressure from Mount Royal. If you're the Dinos, it has to feel like they have 8 players out there right now.
Yeah, it must feel like they have a 2-man advantage here at this point, even though you have all 5 of your guys. The first big step is winning this face-off and then trying to get some of those connective passes out of the zone to just really try to build momentum. Fortunately, that's not the case right there.
Puck goes back behind the net. Jumping onto it now, the Dinos, and they will get it out. Kamradis has it again, down the right wing side. Such a smooth skater, battling her way down into the corner. They continue to work for it, bounce toward the net. McNitch centering, that one gets knocked away. And now the Dinos, there's the pass you were talking about. They'll get it out, but only momentarily. They jump on it again. Knapziger works her way in, shoots. That one slides wide. Bounces to the near side. Onto it is Clark, battling with McNitch down in the corner. Puck bouncing around, jumped on there by Benko, and they're able to get it out. Now it's Watney again, with some speed, circling back behind the goal. Watney, couple players on her, able to get around it. Nice play there for the pass, just off the intended target. Cougars keeping that pressure on. Dinos desperate to clear as it goes down into the corner. After it is McKenna Schaefer. In her first year, born here in Calgary, helping them get it out of the zone. But again, the Cougars, they're just all over it. They have it again on the attack. Schaefer with the steal. Puck slides out toward the front of the net. Dangerous play here as it gets poked back behind the net. Puck slides to the near side. Jumped onto by Cooper. And now she'll look to just skate this one out. Racing out 1-on-4, pushes it ahead, and she's still going to go after it. Cooper gets it into the corner first. Drop pass, that one though stolen away. Dinos trying to hold, can't do it. Onto it now is Grice, chipping it around Lissus. Good support there from Madeline Knapziger. Played over to the far side. Trying to clear that one down. It gets knocked down by Borbandi and gets sent back down by the Cougars. 6 minutes in, Dinos looking for their first shot of the period. Not going to find it here, stolen away. Hauk with it again. Trying to get it onto her forehand. Instead, backhand pass, left back toward the blue line. Onto it is Joma. Walks out in front. Circling around. Plays it back toward the blue line. Hard pass across. Held up by Hanoki. Long shot. Whistled that one just wide. Borbandi has it again. Plays it back behind the net. Hauk with it. Cougars making a change in the offensive zone. Hauk circling around on the backhand. Still with it. Starts lap 2 with a pass, leaving it off for Borbandi. Long shot, slides that one wide. Comes back to the near side. Jumping on it. Solana Cooper had a great rush there earlier in this shift. Has to be tired at the end of the shift. She's going to come off. Most of the other mates can't do it as the puck gets sent in after a turnover. Lissus plays it over on the far side. Onto it is McLeod. Plays that one up the middle. And the Dinos are going to send this down the ice. Icing's been waved off. Clarenbach in there first. This top line for the Dinos trying to get something going. It's Anderson. Drags and shoots. It's blocked. Rebound played into the near side. McNitch with it. Plays it up. Girard. Cross ice feed. Bouncing across. Benko plays it off the hop. Trying to get it in front. Has it again. Benko circling on the backhand. Drop pass. Intercepted. Dinos looking to rush out with it. It's Mercier. 1-on-3. Pokes it ahead. Still pushing forward. Trying to get it across to Anderson, but it's knocked away. And it's Watney bringing it back for the Cougars. Sliding through. Watney drags it across. Passed in front. That's knocked away. Played back behind the net as they dig for it. Jumped on by Mount Royal. Hard cross ice pass. It goes back to the blue line. Long shot from Henson Young. Hit a body, didn't get through. It's loose in the slot. Bounces over the goal. Another excellent opportunity for Mount Royal. Just goes over. Now up top. One-timer shot deflected wide. Good look there from Comta. Knocked away. And now the Dinos race back with it. Down the right wing side they come. It's Madeline Nafziger. But again, 1-on-4 as the mates go off for a change. Centering feed, that one hit the back of the net. Couple Dinos collide. Sorry, that was Emma Tate battling for it behind the net. Excellent work, but everyone was changing. Now it's Perlinger. Sends that pass across. Up the middle, it's deflected as the Dinos trying to get this one out of their end. Great forecheck from Mount Royal, gets a steal. Looking for another opportunity, cycling around, it's Gabby Lindsay. Had it knocked away from her. Grice with the collision, now it's Lindsay again. Continuing to dig in the corner. It cycles back behind the net. Janes. Among a few players back there. They have it again. Ticking toward the midway point of this game. Still no score, but not for a lack of trying from Mount Royal this period. Dinos can't get it out. One more time, it's Ashley Grice. Stomps up, passes it over. That one's intercepted by Curley, and they will get it out. It's Martins. Trying to get this puck in deep, but the puck gets knocked away. Good back check there from Borbandi. Hanoki with the pass across. Fresh Cougars out on the ice. Puck gets stolen away as a stick goes flying. Chipped up into the attacking zone. Clark trying to get to it first, but that got stolen away. Now it's Hauk. Down the right wing. Has Borbandi going to the goal. Quick shot. Stopped by Awad. And some good rebound control. Brings a halt to this one with 10:57 to go. And I allow you to talk for the first time in a while now, Brandon.
I was going to say, you finally get to catch your breath here, Peter, as that was just constant back and forth, back and forth. One of the things that I want to kind of bring up is Mount Royal is doing such a good job in the offensive zone. It almost feels like they have a power play situation. They're not rushing the puck. They're trying to find that angle, and they're trying to find that space, and they're really making it difficult for this Dinos team. And when the Dinos team does eventually get the puck on their stick, all they can really do is just slightly move it out of the zone.
Comes back to the point now. It's Spence. Plays it down toward the wall. That one gets cut off about halfway down. Joma, one of the ones digging in there. Well, they just spent all shift defending, so by the time you get it out, everyone has to go for a change. You can't get anything going offensively, which is what the Cougars have now. Up top, Spence looked to load up a shot, but left the puck behind. She has it again. Drop pass, left up from Rodis. Long shot, deflected, rebound at the side of the net. Played up toward the blue line, held in from Rodis, trying to cycle it back behind the net. Cougar player stumbled, and it allows the Dinos to get it up off the wall, and they try to break it out. They'll gain the red line, passed up along. It's Cooper. Out in front, that one slides away. Now to the near side, Schaefer. It's deflected. Comta back with it. Looks up ice, passed up the middle. Mount Royal has it. Up the middle it goes. McNitch couldn't quite corral that one. Now spinning back with it. That's Wagner. Pass across, shots 6-0 this period for Mount Royal. They might get another one here. Watney almost jumped that one. A couple NFL games today, she looked like a safety trying to jump that pass. Instead, it's the Dinos coming back with it. Long shot. Awkward save there from Ross. You can't blame her. She hasn't seen a puck in 11 minutes of hockey, but she's able to make that save.
Yeah, Ross, sometimes we always like to chat with goaltenders, and we always say at the beginning of games they like to get that early shot just to build some confidence. They also like to talk about getting that early shot in a period as well to continue building that confidence. For Ross, not the hardest shot you're going to ever have to save, but one of those awkward ones that if you're not really focusing on can end up in the back of the net. She did a really good job there, and Dinos get their first shot of the period in what felt like Lord knows how long. First time in 2025 it almost felt like.
Yeah, it certainly felt like a while. Now they're looking for, dare I say, a second one, but they need the puck first. James gains the red line, going to continue with speed, plays it toward the goal. Awad has a bit of a tough time with it. Centering feed comes out in front. Quick chance, and Awad makes a great save. James had the great look. Awad just a bit better, making her best save of the game so far. As this puck gets played down, left off behind the net. Hanoki to the near side, up with it is Duke. The puck bounces away from her, stolen. Mercier circling, hard pass across. Long shot blocked. And Butts will try to play this one out, and she does. Almost doesn't seem fair. You only get one shot in 11 minutes, and they block them too. And that's going to be a penalty.
That is going to be a very, very big thing for this Calgary Dinos team. Again, going back on the power play for the second time of today's game. Now, you're actually getting a proper power play this time because
you're not starting at 200 feet from your own net.
Yeah, you're not starting 200 feet from your own net. You're also getting the full 2 minutes of it as well.
Right.
Last time that the Dinos had the puck in the zone, I would have liked them to spend a little bit more time just trying to move the puck around and build some more confidence in the offensive zone. But this is a golden opportunity to do it.
Dinos power play is last in Canada West at just 4.9%, looking to improve on that. Nafziger tied up behind the net, or in the corner rather. Jumped on by Borbandi. She couldn't quite get away from it. Curley just been battling this game. Now it's Tate. Walks it across. One-timer shot from Fry. Stopped. Rebound jumped on from Spence. That thing was a cannon. Ross making her best save of the game so far. And at least second best of the period. Tate leaves it off. Now takes the return feed. Passed across. Another one-timer shot. This one a bit of a knuckler, and it is stopped by Ross, with some pushing and shoving afterwards.
Yeah, I like what the Dinos are doing right now. They're able to move the puck nicely. This is building some confidence. I want them to maybe just be a little bit more patient with it. Again, talking about this power play not being as efficient as they would like to be so far this year. But again, right now what you need to do is you just need to build a little bit more of this confidence. We say it so often in this, is just move the puck around, try to open up some holes, and really just try to exploit Ross, because she's had to make a couple of tough saves over these last few minutes and really just try to get this, frankly, cold goaltender an opportunity going your way.
Well, now they have the top line out there for the Dinos, and they're going to have to go all the way down the ice to get the puck. Nice clearing attempt there by Girard and Mount Royal. Back with it is Perlinger. She had a good rush earlier this period. Passed over on the far side. It's Mercier. Ready to head off to Italy for the university games. Puck gets stolen away, and now it's James. Had a great look a couple minutes ago. Now just ready to kill some clock. And Mount Royal will send this one down the ice.
Yeah, if you're Mount Royal right now, you really got to bring the pressure when you're a man down. Again, so far in this game, it's almost felt like they've had 6 players out there when it's really been 5-on-5. So for the Dinos, this might almost feel like a little bit of a situation where it feels a little bit more close to 5-on-5.
Yeah, you can actually take a breath almost. Now Perlinger gains the blue line, walking in. Drives wide, tries to pass out in front, deflects from McLeod between a couple of Dinos. Anderson makes a nice play, looks out in front, throws it on goal. That one stopped. Rebound goes back into the corner. Just couldn't corral it with Zuck, but it's held up at the blue line. Cycled back down low. Played back for Spence. Up over and just out. So that's going to be another penalty killed for Mount Royal. As you mentioned, a bit more traditional in the sense of it being a 2-minute. And we're back to 5-a-side hockey. Curley up the middle. Here's a chance now as they drive in. Backhand try. Nice move, but a great save made by Ross. And the puck gets cleared. Jess Martins with quite the look on the backhand. Now Fry had probably the best shot of the power play. Plays it up along the wall to Martins. Chips this one off the boards. Racing out with it is Tate. Trying to corral it. Played it in. Gets played out and played back in. Emma Tate driving in. She's going to continue to battle. She works for it down low. She's had a couple bull rushes down low, getting that puck in deep, forcing Mount Royal to go the length of the ice, which they're happy to do now. Hout waiting for some reinforcements. Loads, shoots, and Awad makes the stop. We mentioned before, that is one of the last players in Canada West you want to see bearing down, and that's twice that Awad has come away with the puck.
Yeah, very good job by this Dinos, at least on the back check, to not allow Hulk to be able to get that pass over. But again, you don't want to see her kind of one-on-one in those scenarios and really have some space. Great job right there from pretty much the, I'm going to say a little bit closer to the center part of the face-off dot, and Awad doing a good job at getting that stop. She's been phenomenal here tonight.
Watney, drop pass, dropped a bit too far. And now McNitch and everyone has to tag up and send it right back in. Back around the boards it goes. Back to the near side now. Dinos try to clear. 5.5 minutes to go. Puck comes up the middle. They're looking for a return feed to Schaefer. That one just off the mark. And now it's Cooper playing it across. Stolen. Watney racing after it. There's a foot race. Perlinger goes after it. Watney gets there. They're battling for it. Puts it on goal. That one is stopped. Rebound at the side of the net. That one's stopped as well. Couple good looks here for Mount Royal, and they're not done. Back up top to Fomradas. Throws it across to Spence. She waits. Spins back to the blue line. Still waiting. Walking the tightrope. Long shot is stopped. They're digging at the rebound. And Awad stands tall as she has all game.
Last thing, if you're the Dinos, you want to have happen is allow Mount Royal to kind of get back to what they were doing for pretty much what was the first 11 minutes of this period. And if you can, again, you were able to build a little bit of momentum right before that power play, and that power play was allowing you to kind of almost feel a little bit more comfortable, at least on this 5-on-5. Last thing you want to do here is pretty much just allow Mount Royal to get back to that first opening 11 minutes of this period.
They have it again. Spence, who I don't know if she's taken a shift off yet, plays it down into the corner, swings back around over to the far side. Tate also feels like she's been out there all period. Battling for it, Anderson trying to help out as well, but Mount Royal comes away with it. Janes calling for it. Pass is intercepted. Played along, Janes cuts that one off. Anderson, though, with the battle and the steal, trying to get a 3-on-2 going. It's Mercier, down the left wing side, drags and shoots. That one gets deflected into the referee and goes back behind the goal. Trying to cycle it along, cut off there by Spence, who continued to cut off even after the puck went away. Played up toward the blue line, and it's cleared out. Mount Royal leaving it off for James. Down the left wing side, looking out in front. Puck bouncing around. Played across. That one got intercepted as Butts was looking out in front. They continue to battle for it down in the corner. Works free. Quick shot deflected and stopped. Rebound played into the corner. Borbandi battling. Sends it up top. Back to the blue line. Walking across is Abby Borbandi. Takes the return feed. Quick chance and a good look stop. Centering pass. That one's deflected away. Back to the near side. Ashley Grice. Leaves it off for Hinoki. Now down in the corner. That one missed the intended target. Bounces back there, but again, good pressure here from Ashley Grice. Gets the steal. Kaya Borbandi cycling around with her. Grice still with it. Back to Borbandi. Centering pass. That one gets knocked away. Dinos will try to clear, and they just get it out. Everyone tired after that shift, trying to get off. Mount Royal trying to get it in deep. As Duke sent that one down. Dinos play this one up the middle. After it is Zuck, but it gets stolen away by Hanson Young. Puck is bouncing around over on that far side as we tick toward 3 minutes to go. Jumped on now one more time. Gerard up across. She goes to the front of the goal. Passes behind her. One-timer shot. That one stopped. Rebound comes to the near side. Janes with it again. Sorry, that's Joma with the shot. Deflected wide. It's loose in front and just battered away at the last moment. Joma with it again. Looking to continue her assault of the Calgary Dinos this weekend. Calling for the pass. It's deflected away from her. As it goes into the corner. Gerard hit hard. Penalty coming up. Body contact is going to be the call with 2:46 to go. Mount Royal, I think they established that momentum that you were talking about, and what felt like a power play now officially gets to be one with just about 3 minutes to go here in this period.
Yeah, biggest thing that I've seen, at least in this period, Peter, is that Mount Royal, the second that the puck leaves a Dinos player's stick, it feels like there's two Mount Royal Cougars immediately on top of it. And Dinos, we talked about them yesterday doing a pretty bang-up job, at least on their penalty kill. Got to try to get this one here, and this has just been an absolute phenomenal period for Mount Royal.
From Ronis, one-timer shot deflected wide. Rebound comes out the far side. McNitch has it again. Looking to set up. Pass that one off. Takes the return feed. Drops it from Ronis. Has Clark on her. Now they walk out with it. Quick shot. Benko. That one hit a leg. From Ronis has it in the corner. And the Dinos try to clear, hit their own player. Some friendly fire keeps it in. Tate one more time. Couple of Mount Royal forecheckers on her. Battling for it behind the goal. 3 Cougars digging. Tate trying to hold on, letting the seconds tick away as Benko plays it up top. Back to Spence. Was looking for the one-timer instead. Sends that pass back up top. Long shot, hits a body in front, stop. Rebound, Awad covers it up with 1:55 to go.
Not necessarily the way Emma Tate would have liked to drawn up, covering up that puck, being pushed down on top of it, and basically having 3 Cougars players all whacking away at the puck, just trying to get that one away. But hey, you know what? If you're going to be able to kill off a little bit of clock doing that, you're not going to be too upset with it. Awad making another nice save to just kind of cover that one up again. This period has been a lot more bouncing pucks in front of the net, and she's had to be very stellar at covering those one up.
Cougars have it again. Copy and paste phrase for this period. As it comes back up top, Spence loads, shoots, hit the crossbar. Bouncing puck goes behind the net. They continue to dig for it. 3 Mount Royal players back there. Couple for the Dinos. As they continue to battle for it down low, letting the seconds tick away. The bench appreciating the work of the penalty killers, but Mount Royal has it again. Still looking for the game's first goal. Joma got 3 of them yesterday. Fan on the pass, gets it back, shoots and just missed. Bounces over to the far side and the Dinos will clear. Not too far down though, hit the lines person. And it's Spence, leaving it back up. Joma on the left wing side. Looking for the centering feed out in front, gets cut off on a nice strong play. Clark tries to clear, can't do it. Henson Young holds it in. Pushing down toward the corner. Hauk with it again. 1 minute to go in the period. Centering pass, backhand try. And Awad strong again, making the 22nd save of her night so far.
3 seconds still remaining on this power play. And you know what? The Dinos have done a pretty bang-up job. Again, they've only allowed, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 total shots on this power play. And again, one of them was a little bit of a bouncer right in front of the net, which is a hard one. But so far, Awad has been in the perfect positioning, and her defense, for the most part, has also given her a good bit of help.
And Fry will get that one out. You mentioned before the issue with the coaching staff for the Dinos yesterday. I'll finish that in a second. Watney drives in. Fans on the shot, plays it back behind the net. Back over for it is Benko to Watney. Passes it to herself and plays it back down low to Benko. Spins away from some contact. Centering pass comes all the way back. Hinoki, long shot stop. Rebound, they're battling for it in front. Still loose as it bounces toward the top of the face-off circle. Held in there one more time by Borbandi. 15 seconds to go. Cougars circling for their first. Back up top. Long shot blocked by the Dinos and they get it out. Just to finish that thought, the issue from the coaching staff wasn't the job that the penalty kill did. It's just that they had to do that job a lot. And that eventually came back to bite them. But they held strong through 40 minutes of play. We talked in the first period that the shot clock maybe wasn't exactly a good teller of the story of the game. I would say 24-9 the shot clock now. This game felt every bit like a game that had a 24-9 shot differential in that second period.
Yeah, Peter, I have to completely agree with you on that one. This one, again, that first period, it was a lot more even, a lot more back and forth between these two teams. I wish we had the advanced analytics and just the amount of time of possession in each team's zone. Because, again, I made the little bit of the comment, you look at one side versus the other. Again, you look at this side, a little bit more cut up in the northern part of the arena here. But the Dinos...
Still not much.
Yeah, it still looks like you can pretty much...
You can see some spots where they... the Zamboni went still.
Yeah, and that's not one of the things that you want to have happen. You need to go back out there and try to apply a little bit more pressure. You need to find ways to get this puck out of the zone a little bit more consistently. Again, when you're playing so much defense, it's really tricky to get that puck out and really try to set something off offensively because you've been on for a minute and a half. You need to get off, you need these fresh legs on, and then you just continue to have that cycle. It's unfortunately like a snowball effect that just keeps going and going and going. And that power play for the Dinos allowed them to get a little bit of that momentum back, but unfortunately, they only were able to do about 1 or 2 minutes of 5-on-5 where they actually felt comfortable. Mount Royal really just controlled this period.
Shots in that period were 15-5 in favor of Mount Royal, but we are still awaiting the game's first goal. It's going to be a very interesting third period when we come back here on CBC Sports and Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel.
Drink Biosteel, the right fuel.
Hey Willow, how'd practice go today?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you mind if we ask you a couple questions?
Go for it.
Alrighty. First off, we're gonna give you an easy one. What song are you currently addicted to?
Nothing Crazy by Megan Maroney.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Megan's the best. Alright, next up, what's the best gift that you've ever received?
My boyfriend gave me a stovetop espresso maker and I use it every single morning.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
actually adorable. I love that. Speaking of mornings, when you wake up, do you wake up to your first alarm or do you tend to snooze it?
I always wake up to the first one, but I always have a second one set just in case.
Oh, so you're always prepared. All right, nice. Speaking of always being prepared, when you're on a plane, window seat or aisle seat?
Window. I like to look out the out the window or have somewhere to rest my head.
I love that. See the mountains, absolutely gorgeous, right? What's the most random fact you know?
In the human body, your teeth are the only thing that can't repair themselves.
That's actually insane. I didn't know that. Next up, what is your favorite restaurant of all time in Calgary?
Ooh, Pacific Poke in Marda Loop.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
It is.
Also on Calgary, do you prefer summers here or winters?
Can I say neither? I kind of like fall or spring. I don't like being too hot or too cold.
Honestly, that's fair. We love a good happy medium. Where do you like to go most when you're not in school, you know?
My bed.
I love that. Me too, honestly. Next up, what is your favorite sports team besides the Dinos?
The University of Louisiana Monroe football team.
All right, very specific. Love it. What is the most underrated part about Calgary?
Ooh, we have a lot of really good ice cream here, like made by Marcus Village.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what are you currently studying in school?
I'm a sociology major.
Nice. Speaking of school, what's your favorite class and why?
My favorite class I've ever taken was the sociology of gender. I just thought it was so interesting.
That really does sound like so cool. Speaking of studying, what's the best place on campus to study?
6th floor TFDL. It's completely quiet and you have a great view of campus.
That's where I go every time, like really underrated. What's your favorite other Dinos team to watch?
Wrestling or football.
All right. And would you ever volunteer to be Rex?
No.
No?
I hate being hot and I just know I'd get so sweaty in that costume.
That's so fair. Next up, we're gonna get some tooth questions, all right?
Yeah.
Do you brush left to right or right to left?
Left to right for sure.
Love it. When was your last trip to the dentist?
Actually last Thursday.
Nice. And what color is your toothbrush?
Purple.
Oh, she's always prepared. We love it. Now, how often do you floss?
Ooh, not as often as my dentist would like, but probably more than most people.
That's fair enough. And lastly, what is something that makes you smile?
Simon Chi!
All right, we love it. Thank you so much for talking to us today. Have a good one.
Very good, Willow. Go Willow!
Woo!
There you go.
Sometimes you give people the eyeball test when it's the first time you meet them, and my first thought was like, oh, she looks like she can kick the crap out of a football, is kind of the move on it.
Welcome to IG Field here in Winnipeg. This is a massive game for both of these teams.
Leading up to the game, I was getting pretty nervous.
Maya Turner, the first female to play in a U Sports game.
I just had to perform well. I was representing women in football.
Viewers, we are about to witness history.
I wanted this just to be business as usual, but I knew it wasn't. You could just feel it in the whole stadium.
Maya Turner is coming in for a field goal.
I don't think anybody overlooked what the moment was. That kicker that's going on there is a girl.
Snap is good. The hold is good. Maya Turner has...
Maya practiced but did not play during her first season in 2022, but won the competition for the first string job partway through her second season.
September 23rd against University of Regina was a huge game for us. It was a must-win game for us, literally.
I just wanted to go kick, you know, I felt like I was ready.
Viewers, we are about to witness history.
You could feel it on our bench. I mean, it was just focus.
Maya Turner is coming in for a field goal. Snap is good. The hold is good. Maya Turner has just made history.
Despite the moment, the game was far from over. Went into double overtime, tied at 24.
I kind of started to realize that this game might come down to me.
It was almost at a point where we needed somebody to step up and just call a game.
It's Maya Turner into this football game.
I need to make this a don't we lose.
I just remember, go win us this game. You're our kicker. Hit it.
Can she go 2 for 2? No doubt about it, Maya Turner. The Manitoba Bisons win 27-24. Maya Turner, take a bow, young woman.
I told her how proud I was of her, and I said, yeah, I'm going to get choked up here. She went out there and friggin' nailed it and kicked the game-winning field goal.
Maya remained the Bison's first-string kicker the rest of the season, becoming one of the most accurate at her position in all of U Sports, and in the process showed everyone she belongs.
You give me 55 Maya Turners and I'll give you a championship in whatever sport you're on.
She demanded respect. You know, in a football locker room, you can be liked, it's easy to be liked, but to be respected is something else, and she earned that respect fast.
She's the real deal. This wasn't about giving somebody some token opportunity. This was about performance. This was about results.
When I found football, like, it really motivated me. It was something that I genuinely loved to do, and it was something to work at. Something I would have never thought possible. Wow, like, I'm a football player.
The man at the helm for over 15 years, there can be no doubt that Ken Olenek left a tremendous impact on Thompson Rivers University, the Wolfpack, and the greater Kamloops community. Olenek laid the foundation for what the Wolfpack are today and what they will be for years to come, leaving a long-lasting legacy that includes guiding the department through some of the most important years in its history. Joining the UCC Sun Demons in 2003, Olenek oversaw not just the transition of the department from CCAA to CIS competition, but also led the way when the Sun Demons became the Wolfpack in 2005-06. During his tenure, Olenek led the department to 9 U Sports Team National Championship appearances, including 3 silver medals and a pair of bronze medal performances. He also helped the Wolfpack successfully host 4 U Sports National Championships. Student-athlete success was always important to Olenek. Over his time with the Wolfpack, over 400 student-athletes earned either Pac West Academic or U Sports Academic All-Canadian honors. He also ensured the Wolfpack were active in the community, becoming leaders in both Kamloops and beyond, with the athletic department raising countless dollars to numerous community initiatives each year.
Growing up, truth and reconciliation was not really something that we were taught in school. There wasn't a lot of Indigenous history as part of the sort of Canadian history courses that I took in elementary, junior high, and high school, even into university. So I think that this journey for me has really been enlightening in terms of helping me understand what actually did happen with Indigenous peoples in Canada, how much a part of our history it is. And I think there's so much value in understanding and learning and really coming to grips with the fact that there's a lot of really negative history that we have to deal with in our country. And I think that this is an important step in terms of, hopefully someday getting past that and really working together as, Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in Canada.
I've learned a lot about it, so it's been good for me. We obviously I grew up in Calgary, and so we spent a lot of time talking about Indigenous people in school. Most grades, I remember in social studies class learning about it. But with this Truth and Reconciliation, I feel like I've had more real conversations with firsthand experiences, which there's no better learning than that. And it's not just reading the textbook and listening to a teacher, but actually having conversations where I think there's real value in that. And so it's a part of our history. It's a significant part of what Canada is and what it means to be Canadian. And so there's definitely always room to have those conversations, and it's important that we know and value those conversations.
So we've had great opportunities to be able to go out to Sisika and to the Blackfoot Crossing Heritage Park with our teams, with our cross-country teams, and learn about the culture, hear the stories. The museum was amazing out there. So we've really had a lot of opportunity through the Dinos program to build relationships with Indigenous communities and learn more about the stories, hear the stories. So it was really impactful for those who attended, and we want to continue to do relationship building events like this.
I think it's just important that everyone kind of takes time on September 30th to actually think and reflect about what it means to them in particular. Not just take it as kind of like a free day, but really understand and even research about where you come from, kind of what happened there specifically, and just really taking it to think about what change you're gonna make for it going forward.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big star. Underground, I thought I was top-notch hoes. Get the more than the lizzo. Straight to
A fresh canvas here at Father David Bauer for the third period as the Dinos and Cougars get set for the final 20 here on Canada West TV. Welcome back, everyone, as we get ready for the third period. I'm Peter Klein, he's Brendan Donald, and Brendan, I think on the one hand, the Calgary Dinos would like to tighten up a few things in their game, with the shots being a whole lot to barely any, but from a game standpoint, they're a shot away from taking a lead in this one.
Yeah, you know what? You have to be really happy that it's still a 0-0 game. And you know what? Your defense, you played fairly well in that period. You allowed a little bit more opportunities than you would have liked in that period. But then again, with how relentless that pressure was from the Cougars, to walk away with no goals allowed and to still be, like what you're saying, one shot away from not just being in this game, but winning this game, you have to feel really happy about that.
In a very important game for them as well. While scoring has not really been at a premium in this game, a whole lot of goals were scored in the other Canada West game that happened today as we go across the West here on a Saturday as the University of Alberta with another strong performance against MacEwan.
Yeah, 6-1 in that game, just a very, very high scoring game. Now taking a look here at some of the other graphics that we have prepared coming out of this one, but taking a look here at the division, something that's new here for Canada West if you're joining us on CBC. We thank you for doing that. We have the West and the East. Now, don't get too comfortable with these divisions here, folks, as it will be changing next year, and then the year after, we will also be having some more changes there, but UBC leading the West, and the East is where that is right now, and obviously Mount Royal and Calgary both in the West, and so this is a very important matchup there. But taking a look here at the top 10, as we can see, UBC second in the nation for U Sport, with Mount Royal coming in at number 4. So Dinos coming into today's game, they would love to beat Mount Royal.
Yeah, and I would say Mount Royal looks every bit like one of the top 5 teams in the country right now with the performance they have had. But as we talked about, the Calgary Dinos are hanging in with them and are 1 shot and 20 minutes away from coming up with a gigantic win. Talk about the divisions. Need to be in the top 3 to make the playoffs. Dinos currently aren't and need a win. A win here today would certainly help that. I don't want to say need a win because it's still January, but getting down to need wins territory as the third period is yours now. Again, thank you for joining us on CBC Sports or over on Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. As Tate sends it back behind her net. Fry plays it back to Tate. Here on the near side to Anderson. Bit of a quiet second period for this top line. Mercier trying to send that one in deep. 5 shots in the period. It was a quiet period for basically everyone. As it goes up the middle now, Anderson onto it. Calgary looking for an entry point. Gets tied up in the neutral zone. Cougars with the steal. That pass deflected by Mercier, causing a bit of tension here for Spence. Can't get it out. Good forecheck now from Calgary, but tired at the end of the shift. Anderson will send that one down the ice. Cougars looking for the pass up the middle as the Dinos are changing. McNitch takes it, weaving her way in. Good defense, pokes it away. And now the Dinos look to counterattack. It's McLeod just out of her reach. She's been close to a few breaks in this game. Now it's Watney, who's had some real good opportunities. Driving in, slides it just wide of the goal. Goes over on the far side. Jumping onto it now is Perlinger. Held up in the neutral zone. Hanson Young, their 4th year out of Brandon, Manitoba. 9 points on the year as that pass gets intercepted. Watney sends it in. Dinos keep it from going in deep, and they'll play this one right back out. A lot of neutral zone action in the first minute 20 as these two teams understand how close the score is now. Schaefer down in the corner, has the puck taken away from her. Onto it is Butts, passes it up in the middle, deflected, and Nafziger will send this one down. Took about 11 minutes to get a shot in the second period, so I think the Dinos will take that one counting as it gets on goal for Ross. And now a good forecheck here from the Dinos. They're going to almost come away with a steal. Good battle down there by Martins. Over on the far side, Martins almost came away with that. Now she almost does again. A couple times it looked like she was going to have a clean break from that scrum, but it just gets tied up, and now it slides along, and Hanson Young is going to pick it up. Here along the near side, it's Butts. Gets around one check. Battling with Zuck as she gets it across the blue line. Dinos play it back toward their goal. Nafziger stretches it across. Zuck driving wide down the left wing side. Fakes the shot, drops it off. Martins waiting for some reinforcements. Instead, drags it around, backhand toward the goal. 5 Cougars in the slot. One of them blocked it. Comes back to the blue line. Fry chips it along. They're looking for Clark in front. Instead, the shot is blockered into the corner, and the Dinos will look to finish up a change. Mount Royal looks to clear it out, but a good back check slows that down. Stolen away, though, by Borbandi. Kaya Borbandi has the puck knocked away from her. It goes into the corner. She has a bit of a speed wobble as Tate passes it across. Now Clark, long feed to Ray. That one just slides away. Back after it, Borbandi. Up the middle it goes. Janes almost steals it, and now does come away with it. Pushing into the attacking zone. Stolen away one more time by the Dinos. Looking to counter, but Fumradis is there again. Mount Royal sends this one in deep. Peeling off for the change there is Grace as the puck goes behind the goal. Janes with a good battle. Centering pass, but no one home. Comes all the way back out. Spence onto it. Ray watching her. Slides away from one check. Gets poked ahead. Nafziger can't clear. Stolen back by Hauk. With Joma going to the front of the goal. Hauk instead. Gerard loads, shoots and scores! It took them 24 tries, but they finally break through. Ali Gerard with her 3rd of the year breaks the scoreless deadlock early in period number 3.
Yeah, just an excellent job by this Mount Royal Cougars team, just battling away in the neutral zone, eventually able to get the puck in and just finding some good space as we see some good passes here. That one just absolutely ripped. Again, Amelia Awad has played a very, very, very good game so far here today, and Mount Royal finally finding one to get past her, and what a goal that was.
Well, and the attention you pay on Joma, right? You have someone who scored a hat trick against you last game, driving to the front of the net. It takes 2 defenders, and that left Gerard wide open. So you don't want to not pay attention to one of the top goal scorers in the league, but it did leave for an opportunity.
Gerard with her 3rd goal on the year.
That puck gets played on, Awad making the stop. and holding on to it. So now for the University of Calgary, they've been hanging on. Now they're behind. Does the plan of attack change here with 16-12 to go?
I would think it does need to change again. You've been playing such a good defensive hockey game. Unfortunately, when you find yourself down by a goal, you need to just try to find one way again. You've had 11 shots so far in this game. You need to just get that little bit more pressure here, at least in this period, because, again, you can't walk away with just playing defensive hockey for the rest of the game.
I would imagine that the next one is huge too, right? Like I don't think you can fall behind 2-0 in this game. They're looking to avoid that as they drive now wide. Pass gets intercepted, and back with it now comes McNitch. Pass to the near side. Hanson Young will play this puck in deep. Back after it, Tate. Top line out for the Dinos, looking for a counterpunch. McNitch holds it up along the wall. Played out front, chipped over here on the near side. But slides away from a check. Can't get away from this one as the battle continues along the wall. Anderson plays it along, and it's out. Tate had a couple good rushes in this game. Looking for Claren back in front. Instead is forced into the corner. Puck bounces away, cycled back down low, and it's another one where it feels like there's 7 or 8 Cougars out there. As they continue to battle, puck gets chipped along here to the near side. Wagner waits, throws it toward the net. That one gets knocked down, and the Cougars will look to bring it back out. Puck gets sent in deep. That's James going after it. Grice helping out here on the near side wall. Trying to spin away from some contact. Puck comes back to the blue line. Held in from Rodis. Plays it across. Kaya Borbandi dropping it back for Spence. Hard pass across from Rodis. Has it again. Back up top to Spence. She loads and shoots. It's deflected wide. Back after Borbandi. Bouncing puck in the corner. She has it again. Duke passes it up top from Rodis. Into the high slot. Duke puts it on goal, and it's deflected away by Awad. Big save there. Now back behind the net. Borbandi continuing to dig. Gets it over to Grice. Good defensive play there by the Dinos, but they just can't clear. Held in again. Mount Royal putting the pressure on. Shot gets blocked, and it gets played out to the blue line. Held in by Rodis. Slides around the check, but the puck slides away from her, so she just pokes it into the corner. With it one more time as the pressure continues. From Mount Royal with 14 minutes to go. From Rodis. Plays it over on the half wall. Now back up top. Abby Borbandi loads and shoots. That one's knocked down. Dinos got it clear, and they do. A brief reprieve as it's sent right back in. In on the forecheck first. That's Joma. Puck gets taken away and played out to center ice. Onto it, Hanoki. Up to Hauk. She's been dangerous all game. 12 points on the season, driving wide. Still has it. Shoots, that one's blocked. Rebound gets played toward the far wall. Martin's trying to clear, can't do it. Held in. Joma across Hauk. One-timer shot, blocker save made. Joma racing after it. She gets there first. As they battle for it, Hauk has to go off for a change. Left a bit of a spot vacated and allows the puck to come out of the zone. Comto with a nice move in the neutral zone, and the Cougars send it right back in. Pass gets cycled back, played over on the far side. Dinos clear. Icing's been waved off.
Dinos have been able to get a handful of clears. It's just the unfortunate nature is whenever they get some of those clears, they haven't been able to really use that as they're trying to get those fresh bodies on, almost going back to what we saw in that second period here, Peter.
Rushing in, quick shot, blockered away by A1. Good look there from McNitch, probably her best of what's been a good game for her. Dinos try to clear again, Comta has it. And again, when they do clear, it's like that, where it just gets out of the zone, but the Cougars are right there to send it right back in. And now that real aggressive forecheck is back on. Watney has it, centering pass, one-timer try. James just missed on it. Hit the heel of her stick, or else that would have been another great opportunity for her. Now it's Ray down the right side. 3 Cougars swarm, and they steal the puck away. Sent over to the far side. Down the ice comes from Rodis. Stolen right back by Fry. Played back behind the goal for Tate. Swung to the near side, played up along the wall. Ray pins it up there. James battling for it. Butts in there helping out as well. 8 minutes gone in this period. Now 1-0 Mount Royal. Spence playing it up, but it gets poked out by Clark. Excellent battle to get that one out of the zone. Ray, tired at the end of the shift, sends it down the ice. It hits the side of the goal, and it will go up for icing with 11:43 to go.
One of the biggest things that I wanted to see from this Dinos team is what were they going to be like after allowing that goal? Were they going to be a team that allowed all the air to be left out of their balloon, or are they going to stay consistent and get back to it? And right now, this Mount Royal team, they're almost like sharks in the water. They can start to smell a little bit of blood, and they are really applying this excellent pressure. And right now for the Dinos, we've seen it so many where they just barely get it out of the zone, but that's all they can really do. The puck get pushed immediately back into their zone, and this Mount Royal Cougars team has just had nothing but unrelenting pressure.
And there's more of it as the slap shot is stopped. Rebound, jumped on by the Dinos, and they'll look to push out with it. It's Ray playing it along. In on the forecheck there is Mercier, trying to get something going with this top line. Talking with the coaching staff today, they said the best players have to be the best players. Now would be the time. Joma across Hauk, one-timer slides wide. Centering feed back in front, and Gerard just missed her second. Now a counterattack chance for the Dinos. It's Anderson chipping it along. Comte cut her off, and it goes down into the corner. After it is Abby Borbandi. To the near side. Now back up the middle, knocked down by Clarenbach. Bouncing puck, trying to get a hold on it. But one more time, it's going to be now Kaya Borbandi. Down the left wing side she comes, driving into the attacking zone. Bit of a speed wobble as she goes into the corner. Some good defense from the Dinos helped that. Julia Duke plays it up toward the blue line, knocked down and stolen away. Good play from McKenna Schaefer. First-year player, been really solid in this game. Now it's Grice. Cut off by Perlinger. A couple Cougars go in on the forecheck. Borbandi comes away with it. Tied up down low. Borbandi spins away, gets it up top to Spence, but it's stolen away. Zuck chips it along. Spence sends it right back. Bunch of Dinos were changing. They didn't know who could play the puck and who couldn't. So they wait a beat and now send it down the ice. Icing's been waved off. Foot race for it down into the corner. Swings back around for Spence. Playing it back, it's stolen. Centering pass out in front and stolen away. Closest thing the Dinos have had to a chance in a moment. And it's stolen one more time by Curley. Sends that pass across. Jumping onto it is Martins, but poked away on a good defensive play and sent back down the ice. Strong work over on the wall. Couple players go down, and a penalty is going to be called on the play with 9:47 to go. Body contact is going to be the call.
Just has to be an absolute frustrating penalty there for the Dinos. Just one of those things where I don't think either player really tried to have ill intent against each other, as we can just see right here, just two players going for the puck and just running into the boards. But this is one of those ones where if you're the Dinos, when you were a goal down, you really could not afford to allow yourself to get a penalty, because that just means you have to overcome so much more here, at least for the next 2 minutes.
And by the way, it's the second best penalty or power play in Canada West. As Spence loads it up across, one-timer shot fired wide and comes all the way out.
Make a great point with the second best power play in this, and Dinos have been solid on the penalty kill this year. They would like to be better. They were solid yesterday. Again, you don't want to allow this team to have too many power play opportunities.
Now it's Hauk. Hard back behind the net. Swings around to Joma, played down into the corner. Now back up top, Hanson Young fans on it, and down the ice it goes. So Dinos getting some help clearing the puck. Both times it's been the Cougars sending it down. 77 seconds to go in the power play as they drive in. Spence stops up, looking out in front, still looking, passes it up top. Takes a return, drops this one off to Framratis, loads and shoots, it's wide. Rebound bounces all the way to the blue line and out. Onto it is Butts. Plays that across. Now up the middle to Benko. Scored yesterday, looks for another one blocked. Rebound blocked again. Goes into the corner. Tied up and Butts has it. Plays it back up top from Rodis. To the near side. Onto it is Watney. Trying to drop that one off. It gets poked away, but they have it again from Rodis. Loads. Drags it around. Here on the near side. Plays it back down low. Now up top. Another chance. McNitch blocked. Up top to Framratis. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Framratis. McNitch. They switch sides. Pass across. One-timer shot. Watney fanned on it. Comes out the other side. Batted away. But back behind the net. McNitch has it. Cougars changing power play participants on the fly. Hanoki. Long shot goes wide. Rebound looking for that bank out in front. That almost looks like a set play. They've tried it a couple of times. Now it's Hanoki as more power play personnel changes. in the final 3 seconds of it. Across, another one-timer shot. That one floats into the corner. Now it's Borbandy. The Dinos have killed it off, and now they gotta go. Here on the near side, digging for it. Borbandy passes it across. Long shot stop. Rebound deflects just wide. Grace just missed batting that one in. Now it's Mercier. 1-on-5. Back the other way she comes. The rest of the top line joins her in the attacking zone as Mercier has it. Plays it across. Clarenbach just turned left when she needed to go right. And it goes back behind the net. Anderson trying to get there. It's poked away from her. Mercier helping out along the wall, but instead it's guided away and played out to center ice. Onto it is Brooklyn Fry. Scored to end November, would like another one here. Here's a chance. Clarenbach slot, big rebound. But right place, right time for Hauk, who plays it into the corner. Clarenbach with it again. Gets tied up back behind the net. Onto it is Jordan Hanoki. Pass deflected. Anderson back behind the net to Clarenbach. Gets batted over into the corner. And onto it is Mount Royal. They will get it to the blue line, and it's out. Hauk trying to push it forward. But it gets played back behind the net. Tate spins away with it. And out to center ice it goes. Compton with 6.5 now to play. Shot edge heavily in favor of Mount Royal, and they're looking to add to it. 30-12 as it comes out. But right back onto it is Butts and sending it right back in. Pass to the near side. Banked along. Curley trying to send it in. Second crack, she does get it there. Zuck racing after it on the forecheck. Compton gets there first. Curley had the game-winning goal when these two teams played back in October. And we'll hold that one in one more time. Circling back behind the net. Martin up top, one-timer shot. Perlinger had that one deflected into the corner. Was probably going wide anyway. Now back with it is Lindsay. Trying to go around on the far side wall. That one gets cut off. Curley helps it along. Gets chipped up and it's Martins. Flying into the attacking zone. But Cougars everywhere poking it away. James passes it across. Nice move by Benko. Second one couldn't quite get there though. And Martins plays it out to neutral ice. Only for a moment though, it's sent right back in. Which has been the story of this period again. Perlinger's pass a little behind the intended target. And so icing will be the call for a sprint to the finish with 5:23 to go.
Dinos these last few minutes, they've been doing a better job at getting the puck out of their zone, but there are still some things where it's just so frustrating where the pass is just a little bit errant on things that are pretty standard things that they should be doing. And if they can just get some of those cleaned up, they're going to be able to leave the zone with efficiency and at least try to get that little bit more of an attack going, because they just haven't quite had that throughout this period and throughout this game.
Perlinger sets up with it behind her net. Passes that across. Couple good passes in a row, and the Dinos will get it out. But it's jumped on by the Cougars. Stolen one more time by Perlinger, and she's going to venture out with it. Gains the blue line. Walks in. Perlinger chips it across. Jumped on by the Dinos. They have it again. Backhand toward the goal is stopped. Rebound Cooper trying to get it, but just can't. It's jumped on by Mount Royal, and out they come with it. Nothing to the net, but one of the best looks the Dinos have had in a beat. Now into the corner. Watney centering pass. No one home. Grace jumps on it now. Working for it back along the back wall. Good battle. Down low with Mercier. Stolen away though from Mount Royal. They have it again. Borbandy behind the goal. Trying to chip it back around. It comes out in front but gets batted right back. Hanson Young with it one more time. Stomps up. Chips it out in front. Duke, nice move. Trying to go short side and a blocker save made by Awad. There was a bit of room up there, but couldn't quite find it. Now it's Hanson Young. Across. Compton with a long shot. Block. Cooper, though, is left with half a twig as it goes down into the corner. Perlinger kicks it along. Cooper tries to literally kick it along. Passed out in front. Stolen away. Couldn't quite get to McLeod, but the Dinos recover and send it out. Blocked now by Perlinger. Has to be exhausted at the end of this shift, and she'll send the puck in deep. Round the boards it goes. Hanson Young plays it to the near side. Back out by Joma. Up to Hauk. Sends this one in, and Awad will hold on with 3:34 to go.
I think the Dinos are ultimately going to be a little bit relieved with Awad just blocker or gloving that one down, just saying, you know what, we need to catch our breath here, just allow ourselves to kind of regroup and recuperate after that one. And again, right now for the Dinos, they just need to just try to consistently a little bit more, just try to get this one out of the zone a little bit more connective with each other, not trying to get some of those errant passes. As long as they can try to do that, they still have a chance. But right now, this Cougars team, it feels like for every Dinos player that's out there, feels like there's two of them.
And the Cougars look to break out with it one more time. It's Joma trying to get around the check. She will send this one in. Bouncing puck. Bounces wide of the goal. Now back behind the net. Dinos looking to break out with it. And they're going to get a power play opportunity as Anderson has the puck poked away. And with exactly 3 minutes left here in period number 3, the Dinos power play gets to go to work. Tripping is going to be the call here against Gabby Lindsay.
Talk about this in the second period when the Dinos finally got their power play opportunity. That's when they really started to feel a lot more comfortable. And again, don't really have a great power play opportunity or success in this season so far. This would be a golden opportunity to at least tie this game. And if you can do that, the sky is the limit.
Offensive zone faceoff. Controlled by, or won by the Cougars. Dinos try to control, and they do. Comes back up top to Perlinger. Walks the tightrope, passes it across. Takes the return feed up top. Perlinger across. Clarenbach couldn't quite get the one-timer shot. Perlinger tries it, it's blocked. Holds it in. Clarenbach has it, the first-year player on the top line. Across, Perlinger, one-timer shot doesn't get through. Anderson after it. One of the top offensive players on this team. Trying to get it down low. Clark trying to help as it bounces back behind the net. Onto it is Mount Royal, and they will send it just out of the zone. Or did they hold? I think they did. Nice play there, holding that one in. The battle continues. Mercier comes away with it. Out in front, one-timer shot stopped by Ross. Dinos are pulling their goalie. As play is whistled down.
I thought I heard one of the officials say center ice.
Yeah.
And it appears that we are going to be heading that direction.
Pointed at the Dinos bench as they were making the change. Awad was coming off. I believe it was Clark coming on, and the referee just blew it dead. So we have the face-off at center ice with 2:13 to go, as is tradition. And it is picked up by the Dinos and sent back here to the near side. Put that in the notes. We need a rules expert for next year. As the puck gets played along, Clark down. That one's almost stolen away. They have it now. Clark trying to get it to Nafziger as they try to get set up here. Under a minute to go in the power play. Under 2 to go. Puck bounces in front. Nafziger can't get a handle on it. And it gets sent down the ice, where we will have video proof that Awad has not come out of the net yet. 40 seconds to go. She should almost just lead the rush up ice. Long stretch feed. That's going to be intercepted. And the Dinos will send it right back down. So some good momentum on the first half of that power play. Just comes to a screeching halt. They try to get it back with 26 seconds to go. Fry passing it over. Clark. Back to Fry. She's got a booming shot. Now Awad races to the bench. Centering feed. Quick chance stopped. Great look there for Mercier. But Ross making one of her, maybe her best save of the game so far.
One of the most critical, without a doubt, as that one just coming right towards us. We can see on the replay, Mercier getting right in front of the net. I don't know if she quite got enough as much as she wanted to on this one. We are going to have a timeout coming to the Dinos as they are going to have their goaltender pulled. 14 more seconds left on the power play. Minute 14 still remaining in this game, and it is really do or die time because, again, if the Dinos continue here, but we do have a look at our Friday games next week where we have Regina taking on Saskatchewan, Calgary versus Alberta, UBC versus Mount Royal, and Manitoba taking on Trinity Western, as we're just getting in one more final graphic here throughout this game for all of our CBC Sports viewers checking out here on Canada West TV. If you want to check out some of those games, those are all going to be very exciting. You and myself will be on the Calgary Alberta broadcast next Saturday as well. That's going to be a fun one. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be a blast, as this game has been as well. And obviously, our focus is a bit more Calgary Dino-centric, but that UBC Mount Royal home and home next weekend is going to be massive with those two teams separated by 6 points. If this score holds, it'll be 4 going into that weekend. Face-off, controlled by Mount Royal. Sent around. Anderson there. Net empty for the Dinos. Anderson trying to play it out in front. Puck gets knocked away. Fry trying to hold it in. And they do. Nice play there by Clarenbach. Again, first-year player with a heads-up play, holding that one in. Can't do it on the second time. We are back to, I guess it would now be 6-on-5. Penalty is over anyway. Perlinger racing up ice. She'll get it into the attacking zone, trying to push that one forward. Almost had to ringette-style play it in as she lost a bit of a handle on her stick, and now the Cougars will be content to let the seconds tick away. 35 seconds left. Dinos digging. The puck bounces free, but it bounces too far out to the neutral zone. Racing back after it is Perlinger. Sends it back to the near side. Played up to Clarenbach. Up to Mercier. Just had a great chance. Looking for another. She shoots. Hits a shin pad. Doesn't get through. Dinos hold it in. Circling around with it. Pass across. One-timer from Fry. Just missed. She's got it again. Hard down in the corner. 10 seconds to go. Played back up top. On to that one. There is McLeod. Back to Fry. Trying to hold it in. 5 seconds left. Shot is blocked. Fry racing back for it, and the Dinos are going to run out of time. A push at the end. Comes up just short. As they fall 1-0 to the Mount Royal Cougars. Final shots 31-14. Dinos just couldn't get that sustained pressure until the very end.
Yeah, you know what? If you're the Dinos, you have to be satisfied with what you did here today as opposed to what happened yesterday. Again, a lot of frustration from what happened in yesterday's contest. And you know what? You absolutely worked Mount Royal to the absolute maximum here today, forcing it to be a 1-0 score. Again, we always see on these Saturday games not necessarily as high scoring as we do typically on the Fridays, and they're a lot more competitive. Again, when you have those two games within 24 hours of each other, it's a lot harder to really get any more momentum. But Calgary, I would say, played a better game here today, but there's still going to be a lot of things that they must be frustrated about. Overall, really fun game here today.
It really was. When we were talking with Josh Gosling, and the coaching staff before, three things kind of stood out to me, and I want to get your thoughts now that we've had 60 extra minutes of hockey to think about it. The first one was we're going to learn a lot about this team and how they respond today. What did we learn about this team and how they responded today?
You know
I
what?
would say probably pretty positively.
Yeah, I would say there was a lot more of a positive game here today. Again, seeing the amount of pressure that Mount Royal put on them here today again, and basically saying what felt like the last 40 minutes of this game felt almost like it was 38 for Mount Royal as opposed to Calgary. When you have that amount of pressure coming your way, sometimes a team can fall flat a little bit and they can just absorb all the pressure and just allow goal after goal after goal. Dinos didn't allow that here today.
You also said best players need to be their best players, and you saw at the end some good pushes there from their best players. I would probably say check mark on that one too.
Yeah, you definitely had some much more improvement. You're seeing, again, like Sydney Mercier coming up. We saw Rebecca Clark play a much better game. We saw April Clarenbach have a solid game here today. Not necessarily getting the goals that they would want, but still playing an overall very competitive game.
And then the last one was moral victories are for minor hockey. We will see. I think there's a lot of moral victories you can take from this one, though, for the Dinos.
Yeah, again, these two teams are going to be playing each other one more time throughout this year, going back to the 31st of January for the not the Circle K Classic, that was just previously, but the Crowchild Classic. That's going to be always a great event, and these two teams, again, when you play each other 6 times in a year, sometimes something's got to give, and things you're going to come away with happy, but again, no moral victories here.
So again, thank you so much to those of you who joined us on CBC Sports, and as always, thank you to those of you who joined us on Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. He is Brendan Donald. My name is Peter Klein. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, everyone. Final score one more time. Mount Royal Cougars 1, Calgary Dinos 0. Have a great night, everybody.
Shiny, always gold. I'll be fine.